This is as hard as I can make it. This is the toughest graph that I could throw at you. It's in radians. It has a phase shift. It's moved up one. It is going to change the period. It's going to change the amplitude, and it's negative. Okay, it's got everything that I could possibly do. You know it's in radians because this has a pi in it. If this was a 180 or a 90, you do degrees. It's got a pi, so we're going to do radians. This is 90 degrees, yes. And if you wanted to make this a 90 and do it all in degrees, then when you're done, change your labels to radians. That would work really well. The amplitude of this graph comes from this number, and it's 3. We don't really worry about it being -3 because it's just a distance from a top and a bottom. The period is usually 2 pi. It's usually 2 pi, but since it's being divided by this 2, the period is going to be 180, or I'm sorry, pi. Which means that when I do my 4 hashes, this is now pi. That's one whole period. So then half of that's pi over 2, half of that is pi over 4, and I have pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, so that's 3 pi over 4. This is how my graph's basically going to start. I'm just going to keep on counting a few more pi over 4s. So there's 5 pi over 4, and here's 6 pi over 4. Sine is the one that starts in the middle. Sine would usually be here at my origin and start going up and down. That's what it normally does. But everything is moved right pi over 2. So I'm going to basically move my y-axis here at pi over 2. And everything is moved up 1. I'm going to count by 1s and call this up 1. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, -1, -2. And this right here is now my center point. In this case, that's where I'm starting from. So it's like I've turned this middle point into my new x and y axis. Usually sine starts going up because this has a negative. It's going to go down. So from this point to my next hash, I go down 3. Then back to the middle. I'm sorry, here. Down 3. Back to the middle. Up 3. Back to the middle. And starting from this point, there's my first period. Then I could go backwards. If I really wanted to. There'd be another period just about. Yeah, another period. So it doesn't look, you can't really tell if it's pointing negative or positive, or if it's cosine or sine just by looking at it. It can be either. But starting from this point here, I went down 3 to my hashes, had my amplitude, had my period, and that was my graph.